Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and thanks for checking out my channel. Being on this channel that I do everything really pretty much about music and just kind of things like that. I do reviews of guitars and reaction videos to different videos, checking out new bands and some live streams with different artists. I thought I would do one that fits the ultimate rock and roll, and this is a top 7 list. My personal top 7 list of one of my favorite movies of all time. As a musician, every band has one of these moments, and today we're going to do Mike's top 7 scenes from the movie Spinal Tap, one of my favorite movies of all time. And like I said, anyone that's been in a band has had a Spinal Tap moment. Something goes wrong, you're like, there's my Spinal Tap moment. So let me play my intro real quick, and then we're going to come back and count these down from 7 to 1.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready? Jesus Christ.
That's Mike's Musical Rehab.
All right, as I said, I'm Mike from Mike's Musical Rehab, and we are just going to kick this right off with number 7. And number 7 on my favorite list from Spinal Tap is the album review scene.
Let's talk about your reviews a little bit regarding Intravenous de Milo. This tasteless cover is a good indication of the lack of musical invention within. The musical growth rate of this band cannot even be charted. They are treading water in a sea of retarded sexuality and bad poetry.
That's nitpicking, isn't it?
The Gospel According to Spinal Tap. This pretentious, ponderous collection of religious rock psalms is enough to prompt the question, what day did the Lord create Spinal Tap, and couldn't he have rested on that day too?
I heard that one.
Here's my favorite.
That's a good one.
The review you had on Shark Sandwich, which was merely a 2-word review, just said, shit sandwich.
Where'd they print that? Where'd they print that?
That's not real, is it?
You can't print that.
The shit sandwich one is one of the... We laugh about that all the time at work. We talk about the Spinal Tap album, and it's so classic because it's just kind of, Rob Reiner, like, just pulling off that whole thing so serious about filming this documentary, and just the way that, like, when they're just talking about how God should have rested on the 7th day, and he's like, that's just nitpicking. It's nitpicking a little bit. So that was my number 7 favorite scene. There could be 30 on this list because everything in this movie is funny. So number 6 is the infamous concert that everyone remembers if they've seen this movie, and that is the tiny Stonehenge.
In ancient times, hundreds of years before the dawn of history, lived an ancient race of people, the Druids. No one knows who they were or what they were doing, but their legacy remains, hewn into the living rock of Stonehenge.
Where the demons dwell, where the banshees live, and they do live well. Stonehenge,
The songs really are so catchy.
I will take you there. I will show you how.
And oh, how they danced. The little children of Stonehenge. Beneath the haunted moon. For fear that daybreak might come too soon.
All right. That's just a classic scene. And if you see the part before it, it was all because of their manager when he wanted 12 feet high, but he wrote 12 and then he put the double, like the inch mark thing. So they made it 12 inches. And yeah, one of my favorite scenes because that goes back to the whole like live show thing where you could just have something go wrong. And something always goes wrong at shows. So, all right, we're going to bring this down to number 5. And this part is just because of one line, and I say this all the time to my friends, and I'll come back and tell you the line at the end because it's the very last line in this, really. So here it is.
Have you seen Duke Fame's current album?
Yes.
Have you seen the cover?
No, I don't think I
It's a
have.
rather lurid cover. I mean, it's like naked women, and
he's tied down to this table. And they've got these whips, and they're all semi-new.
knocking on him, and it's like it's much worse. Well, the point is, it's much worse than Smelling Glove.
How
he gets away with that.
number 3.
Because he's the victim. Their objections were that she was the victim. You see, that's all right. I mean, if the singer's the victim, it's different. It's not sex.
He did a twist on it.
He did.
Twist, and it's
We should have thought of that.
We were so close.
I mean, if we had all you guys tied up, that probably would have been fine. But it's still a stupid.
It's such a
cover.
fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah,
It's just a little turnabout.
I have a small.
That's my favorite line. I say that at work constantly. It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. All right. So, that one, yeah, I love it just for that one line because I use that line all the time. And this is an infamous scene, and you know Metallica kind of played it when they released their album, the Black Album. This is the first time for number, what are we at here? 4. This is the first time they get their album, Smell the Glove, where they couldn't have the cover with the girl on the front, and they had to settle for this other cover, and here it is.
Here it is. Visitor's Day, isn't it?
Here it is, lads.
You better turn.
Smell the glove, me old booties. Oh, really? Gather round. Where's David?
You're kidding.
David, get up here.
David, Smell the Glove is here. Hello, Janine.
Come on, we've all been waiting. Here we go.
I'd love to see the day.
Plenty for everybody.
Wait a minute. A little fan.
What do you think?
Is this the test pressing?
No, this is it. Yes,
This
that's
is
right.
Smell the Glove by
That's-
Spinal Tap. When you go
That's
to the
Smell the
stores.
Glove. That's the jacket cover that's going out across the country
It's the
in every
compromise,
store.
mate.
Yes.
Is it going to say anything here?
It doesn't even say
Nope,
anything.
it's not going to say
Nothing
anything.
on the side. So it's just going to be like this, all
It's going to be
black.
that simple, beautiful, classic.
It does look like, black leather. You can see
As
yourself
artists.
in both sides.
I wouldn't feel so bad.
It's like a black mirror.
So bad.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I think it looks like death.
David,
It looks
death-
like mourning. I mean, it looks.
Every movie in every cinema is about death. Death sells.
I think he's right. There's something about this that's so black. It's like, how much more black could this be? And the answer is none. None more black.
Like you're rationalising this whole thing like into something that you did on purpose. You know, I think we're stuck with a very stupid and a very dismal looking album. This is depressing. This is something you wear around your arm. You don't put this on your fucking turntable.
David, it's a choice.
I frankly think that this is the turning point. Okay.
think it's
I think this is we're on our way now. You know, it's time to.
I agree.
It's time to kick ass.
That line right there, which has always been classic to me, is it's how much more black could it get? The answer is none. None the more black. All right, that's It's one of my favorite. It's always about one little line. Every movie from Caddyshack to everything has that line you always remember. And None the More Black is one of just my favorite lines that's from this movie. This one coming in at 3 will probably surprise people because this would probably be the number 1 on a lot of people's list because it's really kind of one of the most iconic moments from the movie. But to me, I had 2 other ones that were a little bit more favorite to me, so we will do this one. And this is number 3, and it's the infamous Amp Goes to 11.
Play all these, or? Well, I play them and I cherish them. This is the top of the heap right here. There's no question about it. Look at the flame on that one.
Yes.
Look, I mean, it's quite unbelievable. This one is just it's perfect. 1959. You know, it just you can listen.
How much is
just
this?
listen for a minute. The sustain. Listen to it.
I'm not hearing anything.
You would though if it were playing because it really. It's famous for its sustain. I mean, you can just hold it.
Well, I mean, so you'd have to play.
You can go and have a bite. No, you still be hearing that one.
Yeah.
Can you hold this a sec?
You sure?
This one, of course, is a custom 3 pickup. Paul, this is my radio unit.
Oh,
so
I see.
strap this piece on, you know, right down in here when I'm on stage.
It's wireless.
Wireless, exactly.
Yeah.
And I can play without all the muck.
You can run anywhere on stage with that.
Oh, this is special too. It's look.
I use this line all the time.
The old tagger on it. So you've never even played it. See?
You just bought it.
Don't touch it. Don't touch
I
it.
wasn't gonna touch it.
No, don't touch it.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't even point?
No, it can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
No, you've seen
Don't
enough
look
of
at
that one. This is a top to, you know, what we use on stage, but it's very, very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the
and then
amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's 1 louder, isn't it? It's not 10. You see, most blokes, be playing at 10. You're on 10 here, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. You're on 10 on your guitar. Where can you go from there? Where?
I don't know.
Nowhere, exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. 1 louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's number 1 favorite scene because my amp goes to 11. And you see people with those shirts all the time that had that, but that was my number 3. My number 2, this scene always makes me laugh, and the number 2 is the backstage catastrophe with the sandwiches. I feel like Nigel is so perfect in this. Christopher Guest, who plays Nigel in this, is just amazing. So let's check this out.
Can I have a word with you for a minute?
Just go outside.
Problem to the arrangements backstage.
What exactly?
Well, there's some problems here. I don't even know where to start. All right, this
sound check. What?
No. This. Look. There's a little problem with the. This miniature bread. It's like I've been working with this now for about half an hour. And I can't figure out. Let's say I want a bite. Right, you got this.
You'd like bigger bread?
Exactly. I don't understand how.
You could
it's like
fold this though. I mean, you could
well,
fold
no,
it.
then it's half the size.
No, not the bread. No, you can fold the meat.
Yeah, but then it breaks up, breaks apart
no.
like
You
this.
put it on the bread like this, see?
But then if you keep folding it, it keeps
Why would
breaking,
you keep
and then
folding it?
everything has to be folded, and then it's this, and I don't want this. I want large bread so that I can put this.
Right.
So then it's like this,
Yeah.
but this doesn't work because then it's all.
Because it hangs out like that.
Look.
Yeah.
Would you be holding
No,
this?
I wouldn't want to eat. I wouldn't want to put it in my mouth.
All right. Hey,
No, you're right. You're
exhibit
not-
A,
you're
and then
right,
we
you're
move on
right.
to this. Look. Who's in here? No one. And then in here, there's a little guy. Look.
Yeah.
So it's a complete catastrophe.
No, you're right, Nigel. But
I mean, I
calm
don't.
down. Calm down.
Look,
Please.
it's no big deal.
I'm
Look,
sorry.
It's a joke.
You know,
It's really.
It's just some
I know.
crack at university, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
right, it's
I
a
really.
joke. It's all.
I don't want it to affect your performance.
It's not
all right?
going to affect my
All right.
performance. Don't
That's
worry
the most
about it. All right.
Okay.
Just hate it. Really, it
Well,
does
it won't
disturb
happen
me.
again.
But I
It's
rise
disgusting.
above it. I'm a professional,
You're
right?
When he keeps just that's folding the bread over and he can't figure out to fold the meat is fantastic. So that was my number 2. And my number 1, and it has personal reasons to me. I am right now broadcasting this show. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, and this line is said all the time in Cleveland, Ohio. In fact, I have a shirt that says it, and it's the infamous one-liner about Cleveland in this show that they say, and that's getting lost backstage, so...
Well, we've kept him waiting long enough. Let's do it to him.
Come on, Mick! Let's go, Mr. Shrimp again. Rock and roll! Rock and roll! Yeah, let's go then. Yeah. Yeah, mate.
It's going to be a hot one, isn't it?
It's going to be a great show.
No, it's not an exit. It's not an exit.
We don't want an exit.
Well, that's true.
Oh, this way.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
so, then. Yeah,
Oh,
this
this
way.
way. Let's go.
Wait.
This looks familiar, though.
Listen.
It really does.
Let's not lose it, though. Let's not lose it. What the fuck is he? You know, he should be here. We gotta get to it some way. We've been on stage, right?
We're in the group. Why, sure. We're in the group that's playing tonight.
You go right straight through this door here, down the hall.
Yeah.
Turn right.
Yeah.
And then there's a little jog there, about 30 feet. Jog to the
We don't
left.
have time for that.
Go straight
Okay, we'll
ahead.
trust you, we'll
Go
trust you.
straight ahead.
Yeah.
Turn right the next 2 corners. And the first door you sign, authorized personnel only.
Yeah.
Open that door. That's the stage.
You think so?
You authorized. You're musicians, aren't you?
Yeah. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Rock and roll.
All right then. Rock and roll! Yeah, let's get it! Let's get it!
This way?
No, this
No, this way. This way.
Straight rock and roll! Rock and roll! There we go. Hello, Cleveland! Hello, Cleveland!
Let's go then.
You must have made a wrong turn.
We gotta go another way. Other way. Other way. Other way.
Yeah, we say that line all the time. Hello, Cleveland. So, it's fantastic. I love the movie Spinal Tap. And I'm going to bring up one quick more that isn't even from Spinal Tap, but it's an honorable mention. Because if you have not seen this movie, you should definitely see it, because it's the band Spinal Tap, but they're a different band called the Folksmen. And this scene always makes me laugh because it makes me think of the scene with the album cover about, or not album cover, but the reviews of their album. So here it is. This is the 3 members of Spinal Tap as the Folksmen. And
Which
this
was a wonderful club at the time, and we ran into
it was the Flashpoint. It really
Jerry.
was.
That was the hot
Yeah.
thing.
Not part of the list,
it was like
but-
a big magnet. Everyone went there, and
Mecca.
he was singing. He was backing people up. He was
I
doing
was
some-
probably, I thought I was a guitar player at the time. You know, if you have enough vibrato on those nice blue Fender guitars, you can sound like a surf king. You know, but I was drawn to the folk music as well, and I wound up down at the folk place and met these 2 guys, and I could play the guitar a little bit. I could sing kind of right in the middle there. You know, mostly just sang for myself. But
not a bad-looking gent to boot.
No, that's true. That didn't hurt.
Didn't hurt.
And we ended up getting together, and it just kind of
it clicked.
It clicked.
And Mr. Irving Steinblum came down, and he signed us to Folktown, which was the label to be on.
Terrific label.
Later on, we were kind of moved down the food chain a bit to the Folk Tone label, which was a subsidiary.
It was a decent label. They just didn't have the distribution.
Well, they just didn't have. Well, they didn't have any distribution.
No distribution at all.
And the covers were printed in 2 colors instead of 4, which I noticed was a.
Yeah. And they had no hole in the center of the record, so a lot
No,
of
you'd have to provide it
the
yourself.
people
It was a drawback.
complained that you'd get this vinyl, of course, in those days, and it's kind of up to you to kind of center it and make the actual.
It would teeter crazily on the little spindle.
The hole, and that was a whole. Well, of course, we had no control over that aspect of it,
but they were still good records. They were good. It was good product.
And if you punched a hole in them, you'd have a good time.
Yeah.
that was just a my own little thing I put in there because I love that movie. If you are a fan of Spinal Tap and you have not seen A Mighty Wind, where basically the band Spinal Tap is a folk band and it's about these different folk bands reuniting for one big concert, super funny. It's a Christopher Guest movie that he directed, and great movie, just to throw that in there. So you got my top 7 Spinal Tap moments, and you got a little bonus clip from A Mighty Wind. So, all right, I will see you in the next video. As I always say, music makes life better, and great movie. If you haven't seen Spinal Tap, check it out. It's funny as could be, and especially if you're a musician, every musician has a Spinal Tap moment. So, all right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.